It is your Classic Metal Show right here on theclassicmetalshow.com. That is brand new stuff. The name of that tune is called Trigger Pulse. The name of the band is Kobra and the Lotus. The name of the album is Prevail I. And the name of the singer who's with us right now is Kobra Paige. Kobra, how are you?
I'm doing fantastic and amazing. I was going to say famazing, but that's just how good I'm doing.
Right.
Thank you for having me.
Sure. Well, you should be doing amazing. This is Prevail I, at least to me, best record of you guys' career for a lot of reasons, and we'll get into it, but I'll start there by saying this record is excellent, really good.
Thank you so much.
Sure. Now, the one thing that stands out to me, and you can tell me I'm dead wrong, and that's fine, but it just seems like you guys are a little more, like there are some elements of the band that have grown a lot, since 3 years ago. Do you see that, and B, what do you attribute that to?
Absolutely. A lot has grown and evolved in this band in terms of musicianship and also the songwriting. I think that all the experiences we've had over the last several years, and as well as personal experiences, touring with other bands, they all attribute to evolution and figuring out how to improve things, how do you want to take the next step forward, and always how do you set the bar higher for yourself. So this album, we really had a goal to move towards a sound that not just emulated what we've been doing all along, but also brought a freshness that we haven't had so much of before outside of traditional heavy metal. And that was really important. I especially wanted it to start to sound like music from our generation too, okay. Because I think that is part of what should make it. And I think we did it. I think it's without a doubt the most thoughtful music we've ever created, and has the most depth and dynamics out of all the albums.
Sure. Now, for you personally, vocally, it almost seems, and I'm kind of piggybacking on what you just said, but it almost seems like there's like a more controlled vibe, from you, where, you had songs in the past where you would just go low and just let loose a scream. There's not as much, there's barely any of that on this one. It seems a lot more controlled, and like you almost really are, I don't want to say reinventing yourself on this, but it does feel different vocally.
It absolutely is different vocally. There are some songs, like Hell on Earth, for instance, where people can hear like all that stuff that they know me for in the past. But then there's so many different dynamics and areas of my voice and tones that I've never shown the world before with Kobra and Lotus, and I haven't explored as much. And it was really important for me to really explore it more on this album. So it's funny because I feel like some of the stuff I actually had less control, because I was trying to just really, really present like a vulnerability that I didn't put so much into the music. It was less about you have to be tonally strong in this cement way that I had in my head throughout the whole thing. And instead it's like, if you are having a softer moment, or there's something that needs to emphasize the word or expression, it was done through not just the music, but also through the vocal tone. And it is. It's something that is definitely different for us, but I'm definitely going to continue to do it because I just enjoyed it so much. It's so authentic.
Absolutely. Now, how much or what kind of influence do you think Jacob Henson and Ted Jensen had on this record, on the sound and the direction? Did they help guide you, or did you already have guidance and you just enlisted them to turn the knob, so to speak, or how did that work?
Well, we already came into Hanson Studios with a plan to do 2 records. We had an evolution that was in our head, but we didn't know exactly how to move forward with writing and incorporating that evolution that we were going after. We had done Light Me Up, and that was one of the finished tracks that we had brought into the studio, and it had that hybrid of what we were kind of trying to bring forward. It was like this newer sounding hard rock, but also mixed with the metal integration. And Jacob was a really key player in helping us dissect how we were writing in the first place in the past, and just take a look at new ways to perceive chords, drum fills, like just little things, patterns that we didn't even know we had. And he helped us break some of them down so that we could make more room for new ideas, essentially. He also recommended some things like dropping the tuning, and that was like an immediate thing that just helped us just make the sound so crunchy, and also opened up more space for us to explore more notes. The guitars had more playground to play on, and my vocals had so much more room in the range to play with. That's what also inspired me to explore so much of the different things that I actually have. Ted Jensen, he didn't influence anything. He just has such solid work. I just really respect him as a mastering engineer. I think that he's up there in one of the best in the world. Especially for the music that we make, and we've used him in the past, and I just knew that he could deliver the quality that we were looking for.
Sure. Now, again, this is outside looking in, and I could be, full of crap, and that's fine. But it seems like, for me, I see your band, and I've been following along with your band, since you guys became, known, I guess. And it seems like you guys really are like right there on the cusp of breaking it through. It seems like, the right song, whether it's Trigger Pulse or another song, could actually break on commercial radio and really give you that big success that you're probably looking for, or it could go the other way and just not, hit. And certainly history has proven you can be Hailstorm or you can be Lacuna Coil, who are both great bands, but one has had better luck than the other. So I'm not trying to, dissuade either. What do you focus on to try and continue things moving forward?
God, really, it was just the passion. Literally, the most important thing about this was that we had to be proud of it individually and really thoroughly enjoy what we were making. Because otherwise, it's just not worth everything that you put into it if you don't ultimately love it at the end of the day. And like you said, like that, it's very scary. It could go one of two ways. You never know. The world has to speak for itself. And success is a very subjective term, For me, we already have success in the way that there are people supporting us around the world, and that is just amazing in itself. But there is also the other side where it's like, when does a band finally become sustainable, where they're not, coming back in debt all the time, like they can actually pay their bills off, and we are just not even close to that point yet.
Right.
And that can be really discouraging, So PREVAIL was kind of like an overambitious statement in that way, to really say, like, we are putting everything we've got into this thing, and we really, really hope with the best intentions to prevail on. And of course, there was beyond the drive to just make good music with each other, there is also an intention behind PREVAIL 1 and 2 to really help us hopefully be exposed a little more to the world, so that we can continue to do what we love and continue what we do for everyone that also loves it and is enjoying it with us. So we'll see,
Right.
I have to say, Trigger Pulse, for a song that doesn't have a music video or anything, it blew all our music out of the water. We've never had someone listen to that song ever that much before. We can see it's just like the most popular track on Spotify for us as a band, and that was really crazy to see all the new music moving up so quickly in such a short time compared to stuff we'd released before. So to me, that says that we did something right with the intention we were going for, which it means it's more palatable to more people as well. And I really want to include more people in this musical experience and keep ourselves in it at the same time.
Sure. And one of the ways that you guys do that I will applaud you guys thoroughly is the way you guys use social media to keep the fans engaged in what you're doing. And I mean, it's not rocket science here, but you're doing a lot of, you guys do Facebook Live stuff and you're doing contests and you're interacting with fans. And how important is that for a band today, whether it's your band or any band, to remain accessible and not be quote unquote rock stars to the fans? And is there a downside to that too, because you almost become too accessible?
Yeah, I think there's definitely a spectrum of how people allow themselves to be seen or viewed or what they share with people online. And I think I'm on I'm definitely, personally, I'm on like the extreme side of I really want to be involved with our support base. But I think in general for bands these days that aren't established and haven't reached some place of security, it's just so important, especially millennial bands. I think that millennial bands need to be more engaged. It's become such a digital world. People carry their phones everywhere. They look at those things for updates. They look at those things to connect to the world. And I think that's just critical to stay engaged. And also, for me, I also really think it's extremely important to always remember everything that made you get where you are. To never lose sight of that. Just the gratitude and acknowledgement of everyone and everything it took to get to every moment, every day, every new feat, really, every new album.
Sure.
So that's why I really value the engagement with the fans and also doing special things for them. We do things like we're not, like this guitar we're giving away. We didn't get that for free by no means, and we wouldn't buy it for ourselves for fun, but it was just something that was like, so many people pledge, like we want to just do nice things sometimes just to say thank you so much. We really recognize everything that everyone's doing. And we're also glad that people are relating to the music. So, yeah, I would say it's very, very important.
Sure. Well, I again, I can only speak for myself, but as a fan of the band, I follow your pages quite obviously. And it is cool that you guys are so relatable. And, I notice a lot of fans throw questions and they get answers, and it just gives them that, okay, well, we're part of the team type feeling, right? Totally.
And I really see it that way too, so that's good if that's the way they're perceiving it. It's a huge value for me because I think it is a team essentially. It's really like the world is so crazy. It's like a puzzle that has to operate with everything.
Right. It really is.
Yeah.
Now you guys have done a ton of touring, with a lot of great bands, and some of them seem like they're a perfect fit for your music. Some of them seem like it not necessarily a perfect fit, but it's a good tour for you to be on for exposure and whatnot. Do you when you go out on tour with various bands, do you try to take lessons away from each tour from the other bands, or do you just really try to focus on what you guys are doing, or a little of both, or what?
Oh, yeah. I think that every tour we go on, we always learn more things, especially when you're doing so much supporting, which has been our main position. Every time we go on the road, we're usually supporting another band that is at the next level or several levels beyond us. And there's always so much to learn, especially in the live performance and just watching the energy change with different bands and what's working for those people. There's just so much I think that we couldn't have even written the music that we wrote today without those kind of subconscious learnings that we were taking all the time from just watching different things. I know, like for instance, when we went on the road, this was really shocking for me because I wasn't so keen on this band before we had toured with them. But after the tour, I was just like a fanatic because I just thought their show was so seamless. I had never seen such a seamless show before. And that was Steel Panther.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I remember just the first day, and we were up above watching them after we had just played our set. And we're just all looking at each other like, holy shit, like this is what a well-oiled machine looks like, you know? And how do we get closer to that? And I still think we're working so hard to get closer to that. There's improvements to keep being made, and as the band grows, there's going to continue to be improvements to be made.
Sure. I'm sure those guys are not happy that you're saying that they're a very professional band.
Yeah, I know. But then they go backstage, they take their hair off, and they're like, yes.
Yep, exactly. Yeah. Well, what's the touring cycle look like for you guys for the foreseeable future as you promote Prevail?
Well, this year it starts with the North American tour with Xandria and Once Human, which I'm particularly excited about because it's so diverse, and I think it's a really cool and interesting package, actually, I think from start to finish of the whole night. Then after that, we're heading over to Europe. We're going to do some festivals. We're going to do the photos for Prevail 2 overseas, as well as get all the music videos done so that we're set up right for that launch when it comes time. And right now we're currently working on some more festivals tours for the fall. And the only one I can say that is confirmed is that tour with Beyond the Black. And that's only in Germany for a couple weeks in December, which will be pretty cool. 2018 is, I think it's going to come real fast as soon as we start hitting the road here. Sure. And by that time, it's like we'll be getting ready to do the second launch. It's like, it's crazy, actually. I can't believe it. We have so much stuff that we've prepared to release after Prevail 1 has come out, just for fun. It has way more visual content than we've ever made before. And that's really to make the experience like even more enjoyable for everyone that finds our music. And it's just gonna not stop for 2 years.
Right.
Yeah.
It's awesome. Well, Kobra, the new album is called Prevail. It is, when is it out exactly?
May 12th.
Okay, great. And where can people go online to find out where you're going to be, see pictures, blah, blah, blah?
www.cobraandthelotus.com. That's a very easy way to find everything, and it's super user-friendly. So just head on over there, and you'll find everything you need. And if you can't find it, you can contact the button, and we always get back real quick.
Excellent. Well, Kobra, as a tradition on the show, we always let the artist pick a closing track from the new record and maybe tell us a story about it to wrap it up. So what should we wrap this with?
Ooh, let's finish with Specimen X. That's a really long song, but I think that it's also one of the most colorful songs on the album. It really takes you through a musical journey as well as the story. And Specimen X is just about basically being your worst enemy. You can be trapped in your own agony and take yourself right down. So Specimen X, the Mortal Chamber, is what we're going to listen to today.
All right, well, let's check it out right now. It's brand new stuff from Kobra and the Lotus right here on your Classic Metal Show.